At dawn this morning, the streets of Beijing looked and sounded like a war zone. Beijing residents were still challenging the might of the People's Liberation Army, but it was a hopeless cause. They were being shot, and everywhere, evidence of the carnage. Hospitals all over the city were flooded with the wounded and the dead. Doctors contacted by reporters were exhausted and were saying simply they had no idea how many were killed, and they were too busy to talk. In Tiananmen Square, lines of tanks and soldiers were a clear sign that the military had total control of the center of the city. Periodic shooting demonstrated that they were not going to move away, and that any further resistance would cost people their lives. In all, the army put on a vicious show of brute force. Midnight Beijing time, Saturday night, it began its attack. It moved towards the square from both the east and the west. Millions of city residents were out in the streets. In some places, they succeeded in stopping whole columns, shouting, begging soldiers to go no further. The People's Army, someone shouted, must not attack the people. But it was only a temporary respite. Tanks, armored personnel carriers, and thousands of soldiers blasted their way through. They were under orders from Supreme Leader Deng Xiaoping, who official sources say gave the order to attack from a hospital bed where he is being treated for cancer. 1 million Chinese, Deng said, can be considered a small number. So soldiers began shooting anyone who got in their way. On the major routes into the city center, people fought back with the only weapons available to them: stones, bricks, Molotov cocktails. Dozens of armored vehicles were set on fire. Soldiers who became separated from the main column faced mob justice. When the army finally arrived in Tiananmen Square, the massacre began. Many protesters showed remarkable courage, gathering about a monument in the center of the square, waiting to be arrested or shot. Others ran alongside foreign journalists and camera crews, trying to protect them, warning them.
Hello, take care of you! Take care of yourself!
Nobody could have predicted the extent of the violence. Citizens tried to form protective walls around journalists and cameras. Don't block the camera, someone cried out. Let the world see what's happening.
I come.